The Duchesses?
Duchess of Sussex and Duchess of Cambridge.
I'd love that they came together. That to me is so cool.
We're living in a world that insists you have to choose Team Kate or Team Meghan. So what's the greater symbolism of this supposed feud and culture war?
The narrative about, making Kate cry, I think, was the beginning of a real character assassination.
According to the British press narrative, Kate Middleton is the respected, elegant, traditional queen-in-waiting who is taken to the royal family like a duck to water and understands the weight of tradition hoisted upon her.
Wife, mother, duchess, and patron, all in preparation for her biggest role yet as future queen consort.
Meanwhile, Meghan Markle is the arch manipulator, the threat to the royal family, who's led Prince Harry astray and initiated the worst royal crisis in 85 years.
She has now got the whole of America and the worst of the world, frankly, looking upon the palace, the monarchy, as a bunch of racists.
But it wasn't always like this. Initially, both took their fair share of criticism.
Before Meghan Markle joined the royal family, Kate Middleton was often deemed the controversial one.
Kate Middleton was cast as Kate the commoner.
I think she has a reputation of being a bit of a plain Jane.
Her middle-class background used to mark her out as different from most royal couples gone by, while stories disdained her as Weighty Katie, supposedly scheming to become a royal and wanting it too badly. On the other hand, Meghan Markle was also seen as an outsider, but in a good way. She was hailed as a sign that the monarchy was modernizing.
I think of her as a person who is atypical to the princess story because she made herself.
And this glamorous American actress with her whirlwind love story with Prince Harry seemed poised to overshadow Kate on the global stage.
When a prince comes along, that person's going to be enamored by this self-made, intelligent, articulate person.
So why has the atmosphere become so toxic? As well as the undeniable issue of race, the difference in their narrative stems from a difference in how much each reveres the institution they've married into.
Etiquette and protocol is really important to the royal family. It's been important to royals for centuries.
Here's why the fiction of the Kate Middleton versus Meghan Markle feud boils down to a divide between those who play the game and those who want to change it. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about all of our new videos. Thank you so much to Wink for sponsoring today's video. Since you're watching this video, I know you have great taste. That's why I think you'll love the internet's #1 wine subscription club, Wink, because it recommends awesome wines based on your taste buds. Right now, they're offering our viewers an exclusive deal. Just click the link in the description below to get 4 bottles for $29.95 plus free shipping.
Marrying a prince, it's a fairy tale come true, even for Kate Middleton. But it turns out she's had her eyes set on William for quite some time.
From the early days of Kate and William, the narrative around Kate was that she had always longed for the royal life. In her 2013 book, Kate, the Future Queen, royal biographer Katie Nicholl revealed that one of Kate's old school friends has let slip that Kate had a picture of William on her wall, something Kate was quick to deny in the couple's first interview after their engagement.
No, I had the Levi's guy on my wall, not a picture of William, sorry.
There was also speculation that Kate's mother had orchestrated their relationship from the get-go.
Carol Middleton, Kate's mom, has really been behind the royal romance from the very beginning. She's the person who actually convinced Kate to go to St. Andrews University. She was going to go to Edinburgh University.
The British press were so convinced that Kate was playing the long game that she was dubbed Weighty Katie, portrayed as someone willing to hang around for as long as it took for William to put a ring on it.
The lack of a formal announcement about the future of the relationship has left her with a tabloid nickname she's not too crazy about.
Weighty Katie has stuck with her.
She asked friends to call her Catherine instead of Kate when they were dating, as preparation for her more formal future life. She was also criticized for not working and, as the Daily Mail put it, her apparent willingness to do nothing but socialize and shop until William decides when to propose, while the palace reportedly pushed her to get involved in some kind of animal or children's charity to counter her reputation for being work shy.
Middleton has been criticized for her failure to get a real job.
In addition to the Weighty Katie stories, a Kate the Commoner narrative began almost as soon as she started dating William, which was actually incredibly misleading.
Catherine Middleton, who is referred to as a commoner in this story.
Both Kate's parents were millionaires who sent her to the prestigious boarding school Marlborough College.
There's a huge section of society that gets very outraged when people describe her as a commoner because most people do not relate to the kind of lifestyle that Kate Middleton and upbringing that she's had.
But the fact her family was self-made, not landed aristocracy, was enough to paint them as supposedly different.
Her suitability has always been an issue. She's not from an aristocratic background.
And was actually sneered at by some sections of the press.
The family moved to the capital city of Amman in May 1984. According to the Daily Mail, the family's shabby 3-bedroom rental later became a medical center for children.
Kate was compared to Henry VIII's second wife, Anne Boleyn, who had a similar background, and Gareth Russell argued historians' judgments of Anne were similar to the press judgments of Kate, as they suggested Anne was a girl who climbed like ivy, an ambitious adventuress who gambled in a game she had no business playing.
You've reached too high, as always.
On the surface, Kate was praised for her devotion and patience. Katie Nichol wrote, "Kate has always been a model of what a royal princess should be. Patient, loyal. When the prince has needed his time, she's given it to him. She's been exemplary."
What they want is somebody who's not going to frighten the horses. Kate Middleton is it.
On the other hand, the press narratives contained an element of punishment and disparagement. As much as Kate was idolized as this somewhat regular girl who got to become a princess and who perfectly looked the part, the press seemed to perceive that, perhaps due to a level of envy, people also wanted her put in her place. By reminding us that Kate and her family were lucky middle-classdens who managed to rise above their natural station, these undertones reinforced old-fashioned ideas of hierarchy and class.
Dorothy, Kate's grandmother, continued their upward mobility.
Dorothy put on airs that were way above her social station. All the relatives and friends said she was kind of ridiculous about it.
But over time, this perception of Kate Middleton as being middle class came to be her strength. It helped make her relatable, helped demystify the monarchy, and played into the fairy tale that anybody can become a prince or princess.
This is the ultimate rags to riches story. The Middletons have come a long way.
She's praised for sometimes shopping on the high street, even though the actual budget Kate Middleton and all royals spend on clothes each year is jaw-dropping. A year after William and Kate got married, also the year of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, satisfaction with the Queen was at a record high of 90% in the UK, and support for the monarchy was at the highest level for 20 years. The most popular royal, Prince William. Kate may have been playing the long game, but when it came to fruition, it seemed like she'd played it well.
Two boys from my class said, "That's where women belong, in the kitchen." It just wasn't right, and something needed to be done.
While Kate Middleton always seemed to defer to the royal rules, Meghan Markle came onto the scene as the one who was going to push the monarchy into the 21st century.
For our generation, it's the first thing that I think is actually pretty interesting about the royal family in a long time.
Her race obviously played a huge part in this.
The hue of the royal family is about to shift.
It's shifting.
She was also an American, a divorcee, and an actress with her own profile and personality already known to the public. And in contrast to the long wait of William and Kate's private relationship, Meghan and Harry's love story was fast-moving and open. Their public displays of affection undercut a lot of the formality associated with royalty.
Well, you're looking at pictures right now of the duo strolling hand in hand. It's uncommon to see British royalty holding someone else's hand.
Meghan's public profile and Harry's distance from the crown meant the balance of power between them seemed more even. The idea of Meghan as a game changer went back to her childhood, as evidenced by the video of her as an 11-year-old calling out Procter & Gamble for a sexist soap ad.
In the commercial, they said women are battling grease, meaning only women do dishes. So I was wondering if you would be able to change your commercial to people all over America.
When she guest edited the September edition of Vogue in 2019, the headline was "Forces for Change."
Wanted to focus on women who are changing the world.
And then having the mirror, anyone, no matter who they are, picking up this issue should be able to see themselves in it.
Meghan's focus on change and her natural urge to challenge conventions are a big part of why she's been targeted and ostracized as Kate never was. In press coverage, there was an almost forensic analysis of every time Meghan Markle would break royal protocol, even if the transgression was something seemingly inconsequential. Of course, when Kate didn't wear pantyhose, she was just doing maternity fashion her way. Meghan entering the picture majorly shifted how Kate was portrayed. Mean nicknames disappeared, and all the things that the press had once labeled disruptive about Kate, like doing her own wedding makeup, remaining calm when LeBron James broke royal protocol and put his arm around her, and distracting from her baby bump with a surprise fringe, seemed laughably insignificant. Suddenly, Kate wasn't a striving middle-class social climber or an outsider at all. She was the polished establishment role model Meghan should follow.
Duchess of Cambridge on the left-hand side there is patron of the club. She probably took the invitation and said, "Well, would you like to come to my tennis club, see some tennis?"
While at first Meghan's celebrity status made her exciting to the press, the more the idea of her as a potential princess became a reality, the more her own agency was used against her. Pointed comparisons between the two women seemed designed to sow the seeds of a Meghan versus Kate rift, like the Telegraph quoting an insider who referred to Meghan as an extrovert and Kate as shy, or body language expert Judy James describing Meghan as sexual and Kate as an introvert. Months after Meghan and Harry's wedding, Meghan was painted as the bully who made Kate cry, the villain in a narrative that shifted to cast Kate as the quintessentially English heroine and warm mother figure.
The future Queen of England was in tears over what Meghan had said to her.
Criticisms of Meghan felt loaded, playing into harmful stereotypes of black women as loud or angry.
Meghan was reportedly very rude to a member of Kate's team at Kensington Palace.
And even after Meghan and Harry's exit from the UK, the press still attacks Meghan for sowing discord, while praising Kate for being a peacemaker at Prince Philip's funeral. Numerous articles gushed about her generous warmth to Harry even in the aftermath of his Oprah interview, followed by her tact in hanging back to let her brother William and Harry talk.
Judging from this interaction, it appears as though Kate is attempting to help the brothers patch up their complicated relationship.
In essence, Kate has become the symbol of the status quo, the mother of a future king perceived as preserving a traditional idea of Englishness. Since the royal family is all about tradition, people most invested in the monarchy appreciate a personality who's not pushing for change. And the increasingly negative casting of Meghan was a rejection of what she represented, a potential new dawn for the royal family, defined by inclusivity and modern values.
Yet it was Harry and Meghan who were supposed to be the modernization, to be the change.
It is a family ring, yes. It's my mother's engagement ring.
I would love to have met her. She's an inspirational woman to look up to.
The ghost of beloved Princess Diana looms large among the British public as an ideal for modern princesses to live up to. So it's no surprise that both her sons' partners are constantly compared to her. As much as Harry and William are seen as heirs to the throne, Kate and Meghan are evaluated as heirs to Diana's People's Princess moniker, which is arguably just as important.
What do you think your mother would have thought of Meghan?
Would have probably been best friends with Meghan.
But there is a marked difference in how Diana is invoked in relation to each daughter-in-law. Meghan's reports of her suffering due to press intrusion and the machine of the royal family,
I just didn't want to be alive anymore,
has led to comparisons with Diana's struggles as well as remembering her untimely death.
You'd wake up in the morning feeling you didn't want to get out of bed, you felt misunderstood, and just very, very low in yourself.
My biggest concern was history repeating itself.
In her sit-down with Oprah, Meghan intentionally brought out comparisons to Diana through details like wearing Diana's Cartier bracelet and even the very act of doing such an open interview.
My mom even said to me a couple months ago, she said, did Diana ever do an interview? Now I can say yes.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Further evoking Diana, she highlighted both her independence and her love of being a mother.
I've been a waitress, an actress, princess, a duchess. I've always just still been Meghan, and the most important title I will ever have is mom.
The similarities between Meghan's story and Diana's were also seen by The Crown's creator Peter Morgan, who told Vanity Fair, "When you see a beautiful young princess struggling to find love and acceptance within the family, the parallels are obvious, and the parallels write themselves."
What does it feel like?
Icy, dark, loveless cave.
Not many people have asked if I'm okay.
Diana's arc in the 4th season of The Crown seems tailor-made to remind us of Meghan's reality as the vulnerable princess whose fairy tale soon becomes prison-like, who is naively unaware of royal protocol.
Royal Highness, I didn't see you there.
Evidently not. I was the one telling the story. You ruined with your entrance.
Sorry. This one next.
Who pulls focus from other members of the monarchy and is maybe castigated as a result.
This is supposed to be my tour, and thanks to you.
Thanks to me, people have shown up. Thanks to me, people are interested.
No, thanks to you, people are laughing in my face.
So are you saying that there were hints of jealousy?
Whose mental health struggles are ignored.
I've been given no help, no support, just thrown in the deep end.
And whose attempts to communicate her feelings are not well received.
You and your wife ambushing me everywhere I go, with anxious looks in your eyes wanting to talk.
I went to the institution and I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help. And I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution.
Still, a very crucial difference is that Meghan is supported by a loving husband, as Harry himself acknowledged.
I can't begin to imagine what it must have been like for her going through this process by herself. It has been unbelievably tough for the 2 of us, but at least we had each other.
Meanwhile, Kate also gets frequently compared to Diana, but in a very different way. Kate's outfits are dissected for their Diana comparisons. Photographs of her with her kids are related to the image of Diana as a doting mother. Even the fact that she went on a skiing holiday was used to bring up Diana. Kate is also much more analogous to Diana in terms of background. Both are wealthy, elite white British women who understand the norms of high British society, even if Diana's father was an earl, so any claims of her being a commoner would have been even more tenuous than with Kate.
The shy and quiet Diana was actually Lady Diana Spencer, an aristocrat from one of England's oldest families.
Kate's recently even been termed the children's princess, as her charity work has been reported with favorable echoes of Diana.
Duchess Kate Middleton channels her inner Princess Diana with a visit to sick children in the hospital.
Stories of these parallels erase a lot of Diana's negative experience within the monarchy or her reputation as a scorned woman or fragile, emotional person.
Picture of me sobbing in a red coat when he went off on his aeroplane. The telephone rang, it was Camilla, just before he was going for 5 weeks. And just broke my heart there.
These comparisons almost portray Kate as the kind of princess that Diana could have become if she'd had a happier marriage and a more stiff upper lip mindset, the princess the royal family always wanted Diana to be. The press sometimes even compares Kate to Diana in order to remark that Kate's performance is superior.
Kate was confident, in control, a far cry from the other princess she's often compared to.
The suggestion that Kate will be a better royal than Diana, or more adept at playing the royal game, is really based on the idea that Kate doesn't challenge the royal family by bringing too much emotion, disruption, or individuality.
I was a liability, seen as, and how are we going to deal with her?
Who was asking those questions? The royal household?
People in my environment, yes, yeah.
For a long time, the royal family was careful about inspiring Diana comparisons for Kate, like when it was reported in 2008 that the Queen wanted Kate to only get involved in safe, non-controversial charities that weren't too close to any of Diana's causes. But not everyone prefers Kate's safer, sometimes bland composure over Diana's messy humanity. In 2013, author Hilary Mantel criticized the way Kate appeared to have been designed by a committee and built by craftsmen with a perfect plastic smile.
Without quirks, without oddities, without the risk of the emergence of character. Machine-made, precision-made.
And she observed that while Diana was a figure of transformation who hatched into a goddess, the main transformation Kate seems capable of is going from perfect bride to perfect mother, with no messy deviation.
So different from Diana, whose human awkwardness and emotional incontinence showed in every gesture.
Strikingly, the public's fascination is even more centered on these women who marry into royalty rather than the born royals. They're our audience cipher character, letting us imagine how we might measure up or play this game.
A lot of little girls have been told, well, that will never happen for you. Sure. You will never, ever be a princess. I beg to differ.
The pitting of princesses against each other is not a new playbook. In the 90s, there was much coverage of a rift and rivalry between Princess Diana and Sarah Fergie Ferguson, even though the complicated relationship between the two also included a strong friendship.
That's what's so exciting about two best friends like Diana and I, is that we can grow together and transform together.
All this reveals a level of falseness, a narrative-making machine that encourages us to symbolically interpret the monarchy through individual personalities to distract from more serious questions about the institution.
So, why do we still have them?
So long as we're talking about Meghan versus Kate, we're not talking about the monarchy's role in the modern day, or troubling allegations against some of its other members.
In 2006, in May, an arrest warrant was issued for Epstein for sexual assault of a minor.
Yes.
In July, he was invited to Windsor Castle.
Now that Meghan has sought to remove herself from the narrative, the press still attempts to keep selling the same story, but it remains to be seen how long this can work when its prime target has said she's leaving the game behind.
If you love me, you don't have to hate her. And if you love her, you don't need to hate me.
This is The Take on your favorite movies, shows, and culture.
Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us.
Please subscribe and never miss a take.
I want to thank Wink again for sponsoring today's video. I discovered Wink a few years ago when I wanted to make my wine knowledge as expansive as my pop culture knowledge. I love Wink because it makes shopping for wine and gift giving so easy. Boxes are delivered straight to your door. As I start to see friends again after the past year, it's been so convenient to have a selection of new wines on hand to share. Wink also partners with independent winemakers from around the world. So not only is there something for everyone, but they also carry wine you can't find anywhere else. Right now, as an exclusive treat to Take viewers, Wink is offering 4 bottles for $29.95 plus free shipping. There is 0 commitment and you can cancel or skip a month anytime. Just click the link in the description below to take the palate profile quiz and discover new wines today.